What's up, fools? Brent with AOB. Okay, we're doing our comment picker from Monday's video where we turned 2,000 into 4,000 in about 25 minutes. You can see the video. I'm within my YouTube studio area where I pull up that, and I'm using a built-in comment picker because I use an application called TubeBuddy to help me manage the thing. Now, the two words that you had to have in there, one was flower. So we're going to put that in. The second, you had to have the number of digits in your username. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull two winners off of flower. I will then, after the winners are drawn, I will go back and I will double check your comments to make sure you had the second part. If you don't have the second part, you'll see another clip right after this where I'm redrawing a name. If you don't, you'll know those two winners qualify. All right, let's grab our first winner. Boom, and the winner is our car. Congratulations. Let's bloom. Looks like I don't have to go look. Let's bloom like Lucky Flower. Let's win 9. It's got the 9 digits. So if we look at his name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He got it. Congratulations, our car. You won. Get into our Discord. You know how it goes. Make a ticket for the comment giveaway for Monday's video. Put the title of the video in there. When you create it, you have a tip coming to you. Go for it, buddy. All right, let's pick our next one. Here goes our second winner. All right, James Appling 3174. So he's got flower in there and he's got 16 in there. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40. Perfect, James. Follow instructions exactly. You are also a winner. Get into our Discord. Links are below in the details. Get in there, create a ticket. Boom, you have money coming your way. Right now, it's $5 per video. We're going to start increasing that. Every single week, it's going to go up $1. Maybe not every single week. I might do intervals of $5, go 10 because I pre-record these videos. So it's a little bit tougher. But anyway, all right. Congratulations to our winners. Life-changing money right there. All right. Make sure every single video from here since Monday has 2 code words, either written or spoken during the video. All you got to do is follow the instructions, put the 2 words in or the instructions into the video, and you can win free money. All right, that's it. Be good humans. Cheers. What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. I'm kind of excited today. I'm a lot excited today. We're going to do a comparison side by side again. Same table, same time. On this side, we're going to be running Nolly Molly. And over on this side, we're going to be running just regular 2 dozen with a 3X martingale. Now you'll notice over here, I'm using $1 units, and over here, we're using $5 units. Now, many of you have probably already seen this. I believe this originated with CEG. Casino Matchmaker did a great video on it last week, I believe. So go check out his channel. He's got a lot of great videos. He goes through a lot of these things here. So when I watch those and in my testing, all right, so when we lose, we go up 1 unit. Over here, when we lose, we're going to go up 3 units. And I made my cursor really fat and big, so hopefully you can see that easier on the screen. So over here, the progression is when you lose, you go up 1 unit. There are some nuances, so check this out because it's not always just 1 unit equal on both sides. So this has a very unique progression schedule over here, so stay tuned to that. But, of course, we're going to get off to the worst start possible. All right. And over here, we're going 9 units. I need to edit this bet because we're 3Xing. I need to duplicate this bet because if we lose here, because I have the next couple, because it's hard when you're 3Xing to put all those bets down. So I have 20, 3rd and 4th progressions already saved. 20, 40. Now, let me roll back for a second. The reason 50, why I'm doing different 50, unit sizes, because 1, 2, while 1, 2, Nolly Molly, it's only going up 1 unit. And as I was watching, unbelievable. Pragmatic's known for repeating, and yet it's not going to do any repeaters for us in the first 3. So let's hope we get a repeater here. Now, the one advantage of the 3X is that 1 hit's going to put us back up and in slight profit. Over here on Nolly Molly, I got my crisscrosses because my monitors are different than what you're seeing on the screen. So Nolly Molly right above me, because it's going up 1 unit. When you get down like this, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Wow. All right. 25 and 25. We're going over here with 54 and 54. What's up, fools? Brent with AOB here. Got some extra cash you can afford to play with? Join our top tier gambling site, raised.com, using my code and unlock amazing perks. Enjoy exclusive VIP transfers, daily affiliate cash giveaways, a paid leaderboard to boost your winnings, end of the month lottery for big cash prizes, and Fans Friday, where we pool our money and I play for you during a live stream. Plus, score awesome AOB merchandise and join the best gambling community out there. Truly, we're like family. Jump into our Discord and see what we're all about. Sign up today and start earning free money. Let's effing go. All right, phew, we won over here. Didn't quite recover on the 3X. If you get to a certain point, you'll recover. So we're still down $26. I'm going to go back to a $54 bet. I'm going to bring my bets back down over here, and I need to move it. And obviously, okay, so Nolly Molly, when you do win and your two bets are the same, right? So you're going to put 1 unit, 1 unit. When you win, you take the profits and you put it on the winning dozen amount. So now we profited $25. So now the third dozen, bang, and that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for that big bang right there. And look at this. Ka-chow. All right, we're all the way up in one hit. Over here, we're up, back up to even Steven. So we're basically starting all over again. So when you win on this one, you're going to stack the profits onto the winning dozen, and you're hoping it hits that winning dozen again because that has twice as much as the other dozen. The other dozen is a break even, and then you have 12 on the board plus a 0 are your full whacks. Over here, same thing. You guys know how that's going. That's just literally a 3X each time. All right, so we lost, so we're going to go up 2 units over there. Over here, we're going up 3 units. So again, why am I using different units? There's a couple videos already out there on Nolly Molly. And like I said, go check out Casino Matchmaker's video last week. He did a great job, walk through it for 15 or 20 minutes. You can just focus on Nolly Molly and how that works. I didn't want to do just another Nolly Molly. As I'm watching, and I've been playing these to get understanding of Nolly Molly, so I make sure I know what I'm talking about when I play this. What I noticed is, everything has its pros and cons, but what I noticed is that the progression amounts are slower. This is 3X over here, right? 3X. Our bets can get very big. We went up to a $108 bet just now. Meanwhile, Nolly Molly, it's slower. Now, it has a serious Achilles heel, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But one of the things, like for right now, we won. It put the profit onto that, even though we broke even. That's what I don't like about Nolly Molly. And for this very reason right here, you are putting yourself out there. I would have rather gone back down. But that's also the strength of Nolly Molly, is that you're hoping. Now, you can see we had 2 bets over here. We had 10 and 20. And when we lost, we're going to go up 1 unit, but you go to the lowest amount, which was 10. You set them both at 10 and you go up 1 unit from there, right? So 10 and 20, we're not going up each like that. We're going to make them even bets over here. Good, we won. And now it's going to stack the bet again over here. And it's going to go 15.30 because 15 was our profit from our last hit, and it's going to load it up again. And so this is the Achilles heel of Nolly Molly. You've got 12 numbers. Half of your covered numbers are break even. In this case, the first dozen with the lower stack. Another 12 plus the 0, 13 numbers are whacks. And I've run into this where it's break even, and then win one, and it stacks the profits. But bam, we're hitting here. If you hit here, you're okay. As long as you hit here, you're going to okay. Look at that. Ka-chow. We're way up. All right. So again, when you win, you're going to stack. But when you lose, if you're stacked and you lose 10 and 20, let's say you have 10 and 20, you're going to go to the 10, the lower the unit, and you're going to go up from there. Our units are $5 here. So we would go 10 and 10. and go up from there. It'd be 15 and 15. You don't go 10 and 20 and go 15 and 25, okay? They level off based on the lowest unit you have down there. All right. So because there's already videos out there, and like I said, Casino Matchmaker did a great job in his video of doing Nolly Molly. As I was thinking, because Nolly Molly, the progression, the amount is so much lower relative to when I 3X over here, I'm like, now I've played this probably now like 16 times, these back and forth. And honestly, overall, I would say I still prefer this side because it's a lot more steady. And I've actually come out ahead on the traditional, the majority of the time. That being said, I am starting to be a convert to Nolly Molly because when it does win, it was winning usually 40%, 50% more than just the regular double streets. And that was with each of them using 1 unit. And what I was watching is that Nolly Molly, because it's only going up 1 unit on losses, that it didn't nearly get to the same size of bets through the progressions that standard did. So I was thinking today, let's look at the real advantage of Nolly Molly. Now that's a break even on Nolly Molly, which is okay. You don't want too many of those because you're leaving yourself out there. We definitely want to hit the bigger ones. So the frustrating thing with Nolly Molly is a couple times when I did get in the bigger bets, it was winning 1. So it would stack 1 dozen and then it would lose. And then it would even out the dozens and go up 1 unit. Then it might win, stack the dozen and lose. And you're just doing the stair stepping down. Now I'm also using, I'm not sure it's been released yet, but I'm using a beta version of Nolly Molly right now, that it's going to be rolled out. The existing version that was out there, it only, if you step down, as soon as you win a stacked dozen, in this case, as soon as we hit the 10, the first dozen, it resets no matter what, even if you're down. So what I found is one time I got way down and it finally hit a stacked dozen. It only got us, this much up. We were still way down and it reset it back to 1 unit, 1 unit. We would have never recovered at that point. So I contacted the Clever Bet boys and see, we got tie, and said, that's kind of that. I don't like that. There's no bueno. And they agreed and they have converted it back. I think maybe, I'm not sure if Casino Matchmaker requested this strategy be built by Clever Bets, but I believe he said he wanted it to be that way. That's how he wanted it to play, which is totally fine. He's got his reasons and I'm sure they're valid. So, by the way, if you're not familiar with Clever Bets, which you see right here running Nolly Molly, it's amazing. It's a tool that controls your mouse. It doesn't need to get your login information. It's not embedded into any of that. It's just controlling your mouse. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just controlling your mouse. And the beauty of it is I like playing it while I'm sitting here. I have let this run overnight several times, probably like 6 to 8 times. But I find it's best that you're sitting here, you get to watch it because it's so much easier. It's not as draining when you're playing a strategy like Nolly Molly, where it has a very unique progression schedule. Okay, so now over here, we won 10 and 10. So now it's going to be 20 and 10, 20 on the third dozen, 10 on the second, because we're stacking our bets. And now we hope that we don't go through 3 times with the break even and then lose again. And that's what happened. And that's what can happen on this. You can break even, lose. Then you win one. It's going to increase your bet because it's going to stack press those profits and then go again. So that's its real Achilles heel versus over here on traditional, when you win, you win. There it is though. But when we get those kind of wins, bang, watch this. $60 over here and $1 over here. And if you look, the highest bet on Nolly Molly was $50. The biggest bet over here was, I believe, $108. So even though it's using $5, 5 times the amount on the units, our bet was less than half of the max bet that we had over here on the 3X with $1. So I could definitely potentially become a convert of Nolly Molly. This is the first time I've done this test. I wanted you guys to be a part of that. This is the very first time I've done this, where I put 5X on Nolly Molly and 1X. We both have $1,000 bankroll. And because I went to $108 just now, right? I went to 108. The next bet would have been a $315 bet. Probably a little more than that. My math is off. So as I was trying to build that bet. So 108, we'd have to 3X that bet, right? 324. And this one on the meantime was only at 50, and it would have increased as we lost that next one, but not nearly at the amount that we are over here. And this is only using $1 bets. Okay. Now, when I went head to head with these, like I said, the regular strategy with 3X, when they were both using $1, it won probably 70% of the time in mine. Now, that's a very small sample size, so it means jack. But like I said, when it won, the biggest win I had was it won $36 and Nolly Molly was like 16. Okay. Ugh. Come on, don't start doing this. All right. We'll let Molly, and you don't want to touch your mouse while it's betting. Okay. So we're going to go 9 units over here. And I have to make sure I use the same dozens. I have been playing this at times, and I put the wrong dozens on the manual betting, which is over here, which is the standard, right? I could not do this video without Clever Bets, because Clever Bets is completely controlling this table right there. I don't have to worry about the progress. Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. That's 2 dozens for you. All right, we're gonna go back, and we're going back to $54 bet. Hopefully we can get a hit over there. Obviously, I want them both to profit. It's my money, so I don't want to lose on either one of them. But I wanted a video different to show, hey, here's the actual power of Nolly Molly. Possibly. I haven't played it this way. But I think it's coming true that I can use a much higher starting bet and yet the same bankroll. And I have not created a progression chart for this. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. All right, here we go. So we are at 108 and we're going first and third. Okay. All right, we're at a $108 bet. This one, Nolly Molly, is at a $50 bet. And we were starting with $5 units. Now, let's see how this plays out. My cat is at my office window going, let me in. And I'm like, no. All right, we've been going for 15 minutes. Let's see where we hit. Oh, thank goodness we hit. So we're going to, we're down pretty decent on both of them. I'm going to go down to a $54 bet again. I want to try to protect with a 3X. I definitely, you know me, I like protecting my progressions. Progressions are life. So when I can, I'm going to bring it back. Even if this doesn't recover me right now with 2 dozens, I don't feel that all that confident with the way she was just hitting around where we were at, but let's hope we can get another one. Nolly Molly, on the other hand, it was 25 and 25. The profit was 25, so it stacked it. That's a break even for us. Whereas over here, we're back up. All right, here we go. And we're going to go back down to 1 unit. So that's kind of the advantage over here, is that our recovery is a little faster if we get several losses in a row. But over here on Nolly Molly, it's okay to keep tying, because you're going to hit that one potentially. Now, like I said, I've played it a couple times and I had to pull the plug because it just kept hitting around the banger one. But if we hit a second dozen one here, that'll be really, really nice. Okay, so it's another tie. And that's okay. As long as we're tying, I'm fine, because it doesn't put us anywhere. And when we do hit that banger, it's going to go, it's going to shoot through the roof here. So anyway, that's why I wanted to make this video with 5 units, to give you a different view of this, going, hey, to me, the real advantage of Nolly Molly isn't if you use the same, is that you can use possibly a much larger starting unit size, make even more, so that when I play these, I told you the times that I did win with Nolly Molly, boom, another tie. She's just going back and forth on that one. Ooh. All right. And this one, we're just going to keep repeating our bet. The times that it did win, it won substantially. So even though it lost more times than the traditional, if I were to add up, and I didn't because I was just trying to play around with this. And I was also, at first, I was trying to manage both of these without clever bets, and it was a hot mess. So anyway, so far so good. I'm feeling really comfortable with where Nolly is at. Okay, we finally hit the banger. Yes. Watch our graph. Boom. And we're back down to base bet. And we're going to go one here and one there. Now, I'll have to see. I don't believe we are recovered, so I don't know. I'll have to play with this more because, and I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad even if we're slightly, because even if you're almost there, especially if you're in profit and you're on the recovery and you get there, you don't have to get exactly. You don't have to get higher. You don't have to get even. You can stay slightly lower because you're in profit. Why risk it when you're already up $60, right? Bring your bets back down. We're going to go 3 units here, 3 units there. And yeah, hopefully you like that large cursor. I don't know. When I was watching some of the videos, I found that it was kind of hard to see it. I got to let my cat in. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay. I used to go around to the door and let him in, and they would come to the door and then do what cats do, which is slow down, really slow, and then stop at the entrance of the door. And I'm like, really? All right, 9 over here. And 9 over here. We're at an $18 bet here. We are at a $30 bet here. So the initial progressions, Nolly Molly, because it's at 5, will definitely be higher. And so if we win here on Nolly Molly, whichever dozen wins, we're going to stack another 15 on it because that's the profit. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. And I'm really happy over here that we get to go all the way back down to base bet. All right, we've been going for 20 minutes. I'm going to let this go for, I would like to let this go. I try to make my videos nowadays between 15 and 20, some of them going up because as we're testing strats, I want you to get a little bit more, see them play out a little bit longer. So the videos might start creeping up to 30 minutes, but I definitely don't want to go over 30 minutes. I'm going to still try to keep them around 20 minutes, but I want you to see how this one rolls out. Ugh. All right, no bueno. So it's going to go down to the lowest amount, which was $15. We had 15 and 30. It's going to even them out at the lowest amount, 15 and 15, and go up 1 unit, which is $5, 2020. All right. So let's see if we can avoid. But Nolly Molly, on the other hand, too, it's a very, the graph is much more erratic most of the time than I had on just regular 2 dozens. All right, there we go. We finally hit. Okay, this one we get to reset. And again, my monitors, what you guys are seeing and what I have is our crisscross. So I have to remember. All right, we get to go back down to base bet over here. Over at Nolly Molly's, we're now at a $60 bet. And it's going to be a tie on the 3rd dozen. And that's, you guys know me. I hate strategies with a whole bunch of ties, with a whole bunch of break evens. I can't stand it. Hey, do me a solid. If you like this video, if you like the channel, hit that like button. It helps us with our channel grow. It helps us get out there on the channel and be seen by more people. There we go. There we go. All right. Boom. Boom, boom. All right. We're back down to 1 each. So we're only at $19 over here, and we're at $80 on Nolly Molly. And yet the highest bet was still only $50 compared to over here, which was $108. Pretty freaking impressive. Like I said, the more I played this and it kind of clicked on me going, why am I doing $1 unit comparisons? Because if this one has a much slower progression and it's the amounts stay lower. Let's see what it does at 5 and 5. All right, let's go 3. All right. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see if we can get another good hit here. So on Nolly Molly, we're going to have to hit, and then we'll pile on 10 to the other. I think you guys are sort of getting the flavor of how that one works. Over here, it's just standard fare on the double streets. Of course. Of course, it's going to do that. All right, so we're going 9 and 9. It's 10. All right, 9 and 9 over there. First and third dozens. It's matching up perfectly. All right, let's see if we can go. We only have about a couple more minutes before we're going to end this. So let's see. I would like for these both to get into recovery and be in positive territory. We're up $50. All right, there we go. Boom. So now we're going to pile on to the third dozen, and we're going to go 15 and 30. And that's why this one, Nolly Molly, I feel like you sort of do have to have a little bit more patience in some respects, because if you hit into the break evens, especially as this started, the couple times I played it when the bet started getting bigger relative to the bet size, and you're hitting break evens, you win one and then you lose. You're not getting, it's much harder to get multiple wins in a row on this one. All right, there we go. But that's a break even because you're only covering 12 numbers. All right, but man, when you do hit, all right, we're back down to base bet over here. All right, we are at 24 minutes. Let's give it a couple more spins. I definitely want this to hit a banger. So let's play until we hit the first dozen, or the whatever dozen has the stacked amount on it. Let's play until we get there. So be on the lookout. Going to be doing, I saw that Casino Matchmaker did another 5 double street strategy, but he used De Lambe, and he felt that that was better. He liked that better than martingaling. So I disagree. But that's the beauty of these different channels, all of us doing different things and giving our input. You get to choose and look at those and decide which one matches up best with you. So the next video, I am going to do a head-to-head, side-by-side, same table, same time, same bankroll. And we're going to do De Lambe, the way he was playing it. And I'm going to do, all right, boom, there we go. All right. That's still the break even though. But over here, we caught up. We're in the profit, but we're still only $23 over here. We could stop right now, even though we're down, and this is $40. So we could stop right now and still be ahead of that one, still have used far less bankroll than that. So to me, that's, if you want to use Nolly Molly, that's the big advantage to me. Not if I'm using, if we were going $1, I'd have to take the profits down by 5, right? And if we did that, oh, see, another break even. This is what's the killer, because you feel like you're prolonging the amount of time that we got to keep our bets high. And that's brutal for me. Then you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to get another loss? But if you're going 1-to-1, like I said, it's more volatile in my opinion. And in the limited amount that I've played this, it's more volatile. So just pick your poison, whatever works for you. But yeah, we're going to be doing 5 double streets. And all right, finally we hit the banger. I'm going to call it right there. Oh, and I closed the thing wherever it was at. I'll have to go back and look at the video. You guys can roll it back. I forgot when I closed Clever Bets, it doesn't leave the graph. I would love somehow for Clever Bets to be able to leave that graph up. I can go back into Clever Bets, but it doesn't record my history if the game either doesn't reach a target goal that you set or not. So we still got some things to iron out with Clever Bets, but I would like the graph to remain without having to keep playing. All right, that's it. I'm sold on that. You can use a higher amount and still have less betting. The progressions are lower than if we went $1 We made 24 here and we made, I don't know what it was over here, 60, 70. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look, but it was substantially more than it was over here. Same play, same table. All right, that's it for these two. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have a better progression for a 2 dozen, or you see a 2 dozen method that can compete with the low progression amounts, yet the high recovery rate, let me know in the comments. And also stay tuned for that 5 double street challenge, Martingale versus Dayland Bay. I would bet the farm that Martingale is going to win. If we played it, 10 times, that Martingale is going to win 7 out of those 10 times. And who knows, maybe I will play a bunch and then give you guys some fast forward snippets. That's it for today. Be good humans. We'll see you next time. Us against the casino always. Cheers. I guess I could have just looked at the balance down below here, or it's right over there, and it's $100. We made $100 profit right on this one. Made 24. So we made 4 times the profit. Now, being that we were betting 5 times the amount, right? We were betting 5 times the amount, $1 units versus $5 units. We made 4 times the profit. Still great to me, but ratio wise, not great. We would have done better over here if we had played $5 units. But can you imagine the amount I would have had? That $108 bet would have been substantially higher. So I'm still leaning towards Nolly on this. All right, cheers.